Hi, this is Dan Smith, and I'm in my home office today, and I'm going to be talking about a success principle today, and that is on how we think. Now, we move towards the things that we think about, whether we mean to or not. Now, this can be a positive for you, or it can be a negative for you, depending on how you think about things. You know, your attitude is one of the biggest factors in success in anything that you choose to do, and your attitude is always affected by what you think. Now you might ask yourself, well, what do you mean about what you think? Don't we just have random thoughts? Aren't thoughts just random and run through our mind? The answer to that would be yes, if you never take the time to choose the thoughts that you think. They can be random. However, if you desire to become successful in life, you will need to choose the thoughts that go through your mind. Now you look at your mind as a computer. You may be aware of the old saying G-I-G-O or GIGO, which means garbage in, garbage out. And in order to get good information out of a computer, what do you have to do? You have to start with good information. You have to put good information into the computer to begin with in order to get good information back out. And otherwise, all that's going to come out of that computer is going to be bad information. It's going to be garbage. It'll be faulty. It'll be stuff that we can't use. Now in the Bible, there's a verse that says, "The heart of the wise instructs his mouth, and has persuasiveness to his lips." Now what does that mean? The heart of the wise, the inner man, instructs his mouth on what to say. Now how do you instruct your mouth? You do that by choosing the thoughts that you think. Now, where's a good source of thoughts? Well, there are many good sources of thoughts for us to think. You might start out by reading a book. A good book I would suggest would be the book Think and Grow Rich. That'd be a great place to start. And the book Think and Grow Rich has a chapter in it called Autosuggestion. And autosuggestion is the art of programming your mind with positive thoughts with a particular end in mind. As you look at your mind as a garden spot, you'll have the choice of what you want to plant in there. Now, if you was going to look at a garden spot, you'd have the choice of planting either vegetables, or you could plant gardens, or you could leave it alone and the default would be weeds. Now, weeds never have to be planted. They just come up anyway, whether you plant them or not. So you have the choice of either planting vegetables or flowers, or you could plant both. Some people do that. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5, it states that we are to take every thought captive. Or in other words, take control of the thoughts that you think. Now, how can we take control of our thoughts? The thoughts that we think. How can we do that? How can we download some new thinking patterns into our mind? Well, I would suggest that a good place to start there again is a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in this book, in the second chapter, is a chapter on autosuggestion. And autosuggestion is a way to program your mental computer with good thoughts. It's a way to plant in your mental garden spot, so to speak, the thoughts that you want to have that will bring you success. And the success that you have in life will be determined by what goals that you have and how you pursue them. Now, according to Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, autosuggestion is a term which applies to all self-suggestions and all self-administered stimuli which reach one's mind through the five senses. And stated in another way, autosuggestion is self-suggestion. It is the agency of communication between that part of the mind where conscious thought takes place and that which serves as the seat of action for the subconscious mind. Now, through the dominating thoughts which one permits to remain in the conscious mind, whether these thoughts are negative or positive is immaterial, makes no difference. The principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. Now, no thought, whether it be negative or positive, can enter your subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion, with the exception of thoughts that are picked up from the atmosphere, from other minds. Stated differently, all sense impressions which are perceived through the five senses are stopped by the conscious thinking mind and may be either passed on to the subconscious mind or may be rejected at will. The conscious faculty serves, therefore, as an outer guard to the subconscious mind. Now, how could a person program the subconscious mind? Mr. Hill states in his book that any idea may be placed into mind through autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed his subconscious mind on thoughts of a creative nature, or by neglect permit thoughts of a destructive nature to find their way into the rich garden spot of the mind. So how do we reprogram our minds for success? It's quite simple. Write out a statement of what you want on a piece of paper and read it out loud 2 times a day, and over time this will reprogram the mind to accept whatever is programmed into it. Whether it be positive or negative is immaterial. It makes no difference whatsoever. What I do to reprogram my mind is I read books like Think and Grow Rich. I take a 3x5 card and I write out passages out of my favorite books. Then I take and I read that passage 1 to 2 times a day until it's memorized. And this can take a short time, or in some instances it can take a very long time, depending on how fast my mind absorbs it and comes to accept it. Now, Napoleon Hill related that no one can enter your mind or influence it in any way unless you give them permission to do so. So there's a sense that nothing in life is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So as a success principle, we need to learn to reprogram our minds with positive thoughts, constructive thoughts, the thoughts of the things that we want to take place in our life. You write them down on a 3x5 card. You read that over and over and over again, twice a day. And as you read, you visualize yourself being that type of person or having the outcome that you are going after. And over time, your subconscious mind will come to accept that as real in your life, and it'll move you forward towards your goal. So this is Dan Smith with a success thought for you today, and I hope this is helpful for you, and take care, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye.